Welcome into the Land and Tangwall post-game show live here at the Student Bookstore, downtown State College. I am joined by always Keith Goon Conlin. How you doing, brother?
Good, buddy.
How much sleep have you gotten here?
Well, Let's just talk. Tough couple days, brother. Tough couple days here. I told Landon I lost a dog. I had to put a dog down Friday night, so had to drive to Pittsburgh, see her do the deed, and then we had to drive back, and there's a bunch of people in town at my house, and up at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting everything set up for the tailgate, and a massive tailgate was had as usual.
Yeah,
and they're getting the reputation of being absolutely enormous. So it's going good.
Goon can throw a tailgate. I'll tell you what, that is the word on the street. Well, appreciate you being here with us this morning, Gooner. Hey, real quick before we get into it, we went around the tailgates, did tailgate trivia yesterday. We gave away a bunch of great Student Bookstore merch, so it was great to see you guys. It was cool to interact. Gave away some gift cards, ton of different gear, so that was awesome. Goon.
What was the question?
You know what? Actually, now that we did that, I'll have to ask you. So it was who is the all-time passing leader in Penn State football history, and I gave people the option of Sean Clifford, Trace McSorley, or Kerry Collins.
Trace McSorley.
Sean Clifford.
It's Clifford.
It's Clifford. He was here forever. He
was here for 17 seasons. So.
Yeah, right. So he was here forever. So yeah, it was Cliff on that one.
So let's talk about that. We're going to go with the old school, new school, same school routine, right?
Right.
Was that last week or this week?
No, we're here.
Okay. I was drinking coffee. I didn't know what I was doing. What do you think? Like, we played 11 games. Our bowl games didn't count. So you figure Kerry Collins, Todd Blackledge, Kenny Jackson, DJ Dozier, all the way back into the 70s. They played 11 games, and no bowl game involved.
Right.
Now, you guys are playing 12 plus playoffs now, and you're allowed to play more because of your red shirt and stuff like that. Is it fair? I mean, we're looking at the steps right here. So I think the tackle will be all right, but the rushing.
You're saying there's so many more games.
Within the next 15 years, there's not going to be anybody that's not from this era.
Yeah, that's you got a valid point there. That's a good
apples
point.
To oranges is what we're comparing right now.
This popped into my head. I think it is a little bit. Yeah, if you're playing way more games, it's kind of the idea of like in the NFL when they played 14-game seasons, and it's like, well, if you break you break a record in a 17-game season that was set in a 14-game season.
Just think about the home run record back in the day, the Babe Ruth. The asterisk that Roger Maris had at 61. He did it in 152 games versus Maris did it in 160 games. So that's why they put the asterisk next to for the home run total back in the day because they didn't want to lose Babe.
That makes sense.
So are we going to? Do you think they're? I don't know. Do you think they're going to do that for?
No, I mean
the record books and stuff like that. It's crazy.
No, I think if you do it, you do it. I think that's where we're at. I am curious.
Why? Explain this to me. Why were bowl games not considered for records and stuff like that? So if Kerry Collins threw for 400 yards in a bowl game, that did not count towards his total.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, that's not cool.
It's stupid.
Yeah, not good. All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, nothing good, nothing great in the chat. A lot of
complaining. We
got some unhappy folks in the chat here. Completely understandable. Look, it is it sucks. It is kind of, this is now obviously it's happened year after year where we just get so close, and you want to get over the top there, and it felt promising because of all the returning starters and all of that, and yeah, you come out real flat, man, real flat. It wasn't great. At least everyone lost. Where do you think we rank? Yeah, I didn't even watch Alabama and Georgia. Didn't have a second for that. I didn't even see Alabama won.
Did you go home and watch the game?
Yeah, I was at the studio the entire time.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where.
I didn't get a second either. I didn't watch any other game at all. I mean, I had the TV going to the tailgate and stuff like that, but nothing was really that great.
Yeah, no, there wasn't anything too good too early. Except Ole Miss upset LSU. That was a good one. How about that's been talked about on every single form of media, even ESPN. Yeah, you heard Lane Kiffin's daughter.
That's hilarious,
and
dude.
Then he was throwing up at the beginning of the game. So Lane Kiffin's daughter was dating one of the star linebackers for LSU, where she goes. Yeah, Whit Weeks. And he was puking. Do you think she, gave him a little virus or something? He was puking. No. You see him puke into his hands? Have you seen that clip?
No, but
it was me. He pukes into his hands.
Did you not play with the pukers?
Oh yeah, everybody's puked on the field. Have you puked?
Yeah, I remember my first game I started. It was '93 versus Maryland. I was so nervous before the game, I was throwing up, and I was like, we go out and win like 70-7. I'm like, what the hell what was I scared of? And I remember I always say that. Like my first game that I started, I was like throwing up. I was like unbelievable this and that. And then by my senior year, I remember like 10 minutes before the game, we were like sleeping on our locker because it was like, all right, let's just go to work now. You know, the nervousness gave way.
Yeah, that's
but I love what Kiffin said. Where's Weeks? Where's Weeks at?
Did he do that?
I heard he say after the game, where's Weeks at?
I saw the
now, who knows? You know, it could be internet trolling type of thing.
Lane Kiffin's a big troll, too. I'll tell you what, he loves to troll. I saw that the daughter was cheering for Ole Miss when they won, though, and rightfully so, because she is probably not funded by Whit Weeks, but funded by her father. So, you know, hey, you got to go where the money is. You know what I'm saying?
You know, sometimes you were born from him.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Let's see. We got the game we wanted in a track meet. Got to call it like that the whole game. Yeah. I mean, I think. Did you feel like there was a fire lit under the players? And that's what you think back to Oregon last year, and then even USC. We were together for that USC one. It was crazy, but it does feel like the offense has to get almost from behind to just like, all right, let's go, like let's turn it on, and
I think it goes back to the weak out of conference schedule.
Yeah,
that we weren't really ever. Like not in a game or not winning a game or killing somebody in the first 3 games, that we haven't had our backs against the wall. And then I think we reacted pretty well when we did go down and scored a couple late touchdowns to tie the game. You know, go in the overtime, score in the overtime, and then second overtime we decided to start throwing the ball. It's just one of those. It is what it is. You got to do what you got to do, but. The linebacker made a pretty damn good play on that interception.
He did, yeah. No,
it doesn't lessen the frustration for us as fans and lettermen and stuff like that.
No, it doesn't at all.
You're the first to admit it. I'll be the first one to admit it also. No one's feeling this worse than the staff and players right now. It's not like they're sitting like, oh, okay, well, whatever, we moved on.
What was we always do this old school, new school here. In 1995, what was your guys' record? After the 94 season?
I think we lost 3 games. Yeah,
so you guys had, what were you ranked coming in the 95 year?
Probably like top 5.
Yeah, so what was...
it was a disappointing year after the 94 year.
So I guess, obviously 94 was obviously better than last year. But what were you guys feeling 95 when you have all these great expectations? I think we can, there's always ways to compare. I guess that was exactly 30 years ago. You're real young, Goon. Oh. You're so young. You're just a spring chicken, man. What was that like for you guys? Like, to have, and obviously it's different because we've talked about the whole social media aspect, and like, you think you can't.
I've posed our question, to a lot of people this weekend. Would you trade the ambiguity of nowadays, or that we had back in the 80s and the 90s of not having social media, not having cameras, not having all this and all that, or you want the money? It's a big difference. So, yeah. So back then we would have been. We were very frustrated because we come off of 94. You're 12-0, and we were probably a little too cocky and stuff like that. We had to replace our running backs, but we were okay. We were all right. Wally was the new quarterback, and then
last time we beat Oregon was 94. Now that I think, sorry,
was it?
Yeah, that would have been. We've only played 3 times now. That was the first.
Okay.
So you can claim if you want to.
That was the first. I think Oregon played here in the 60s. I think one time.
Really?
Sure, I saw it somewhere, but who?
I don't know. But you can claim the last win over Oregon for us. So there you go. Yeah, you can. That was at least the last win. I don't know if that was the only, but I'm pretty sure it was
last year's playoff game. The last year's Big Ten title.
I thought that I'm almost certain that was the only second time we met. I don't know. Someone in the chat will probably let me know if I'm wrong, but if not, maybe we played once in like the 60s or something. Maybe we did. Maybe I feel like we did actually. Now that I think about it. But you still have the last win.
Yeah, we had. Oregon, but that was 94, and it was like the whole. We can go on days and days about talking about that season, stuff like that. But going to the 95 season, after the 94 year, we were sitting there. We got to leave no stone unturned. We just got to turn it on and go undefeated again this year because make us national champions. And I don't know, we slipped up and got our butts whipped by Wisconsin in the 3rd game of the year here. And
so what was
that
like?
Even worse game.
Oh, it was worse than like something like last night?
We lost to Northwestern.
Oh, no. You guys lost to Northwestern?
That's when they went on that little 2-year Rose Bowl run. They started in '95. So, yeah, they were really good.
Damn.
That was a good team then. They haven't been really good since. But
no, they have not. We're 3-3 all time against Oregon. Yeah, I remember seeing a photo. They definitely came out here in like the 60s. Now that I remember, yeah. But you do have the last win against them, so there you go.
The only one against them. No. I guess the 60s
clearly,
they won.
I guess clearly not. But yeah, no, you have the last one.
Yep.
You can claim that one. Someone asked about the no paywall Tangwall shirts here at the Student Bookstore. They will be in this week. You can pre-order them on Student Bookstore website. But yeah, sorry if you came by, that's why they're on pre-order online. We are getting them out for you guys this week if you did order them online. So you go to the Student Bookstore website.
Where's all the money go?
100% goes to the Dawkins Family Foundation.
I read that last week when you started putting that. I said that was a pretty cool thing, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate
That's good
it, man.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
You're a good friend to Nick, and he's a good friend to us. So
Absolutely, man. Goon, let's talk a little bit about kind of the playoff outlook here. So, I think the whole idea coming into this thing is it was absolutely a must-win because we knew the circumstances of, what this game was. But, some people say, hey, you still have the opportunity to make the playoffs. I'm curious. Obviously, we go into a daunting task now with a, obvious lack of confidence. Because you didn't get to build that confidence in this game going to Ohio State here. Obviously, we got some games before that, but you got an at Iowa that could always be shaky. I don't think Iowa's, they're nothing special this year. They're not 2021,
tough to
but
play out there.
Out there, we both have our own
It's a whole
experiences
different world,
there.
man.
So I mean, that's a
Pig's
little
heads flying.
yeah. Where did they get the pig head that they threw on? They threw it on the field.
They grilled it out in the parking lot. They smoked it. And then they brought it into the game and they threw it at us on the field. I never saw anything like it, man.
My favorite is the fans a little touchy. You're standing there, you feel like a tickle on your neck.
Yeah, you're like,
it's like, what the heck? Yep. What are you doing?
Yeah, and then
that's
I told you the story about Dougie Ostrowski. He was our third-team quarterback, so he was charting the plays. Somebody reached over. His helmet was on top of, one of the boxes. Somebody stole the helmet and stole it, took it. And then he was, at the game, he's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, He was, all worried, Sparty was going to be so mad at him. And it's like, yeah, it happened. So you hear the story about what happened there?
No.
So some kid reached, for those who are listening and watching, that Iowa's fans are literally right on top of you.
Yeah, when you're at Iowa,
they could touch you on the shoulder pads from the stands. So somebody stole Doug's helmet in 1995, I believe, and this kid went home, and I guess the kid's father saw the helmet and was furious, mad at his kid, and he made him UPS it, and that helmet was back in by Tuesday morning. It was back at State College.
That's amazing.
That's a small town, farm town, community right there. A guy was all mad. His kid stole a helmet, made him send it back. So
that's great. That's accountability right there.
Yes, it is.
So Goon. So you go into Ohio State. Obviously, you're playing what is going to be the number one team in the nation there. That's a hard matchup. Like I said, you're hoping that if you win this one, you build the momentum, you build the confidence in your team to then go win that one. That starts to look a lot bleak. I don't want to write anything as an L yet, but let's just say we do lose to Ohio State. Are you? Well, are you for?
I know where you're going with this.
Are you for sure in at 10-2 with a loss to Oregon, Ohio State, and then
And my answer to that is, and it scares me that we were almost in a must-win situation at Ohio State because, last year two loss teams got in, but last year our two loss team, our out-of-conference schedule this year is so bad. So if we do go and lose to Ohio State, we ended up season 10-2 with a really bad non-conference schedule. What is our marquee big win?
It would have to be.
It has to be Indiana.
It has to be in Indiana, and I hope because Indiana, they play. I don't know who they play this coming week, but Oregon has a bye now, and then Indiana and Oregon play. So I believe, and I'm almost certain that's probably at Oregon. Let's see.
At Altson.
Let's see. Is it? Nope. It's at Indiana. So dang, tough.
You played there, right?
Yeah.
Were they good when you played?
No, not really.
Was there anybody in the stands?
Not really. No.
Isn't it the worst situation in the world playing in a stadium that's empty?
Yeah, it's just like their parents.
Yeah.
It's just the opposing team's parents.
And you hear your mom in the crowd, get after her. And you're like, wow, is that my mom? I mean, that's crazy. It's always sucked playing in Indiana for that reason. It's hard to get a hype up for that type of game before a game when there's literally 15,000 people there. But Indiana's going to be absolutely crazy, going forward. I mean, they've made the commitment, and they're doing very, very well. They're playing well.
Yeah, they have a lot of money. They're boosters. People don't know about those Indiana boosters. They're up there as far as they're like SEC level, man. They're crazy. And Kurt Signetti's done a great job coming from JMU.
Yep.
I had a bunch of boys that played for JMU for my high school team, and they loved him when he left. And it was like, yeah, he's gonna do a good job there. Oh man, yeah. So
he's done a great job there. I mean, it's Indiana.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I guess so. That I mean, I guess it kind of depends. We have to root for Indiana.
Yes.
To come into that game, we need Indiana to beat Oregon in 2 weeks. Like that has to happen. That has to happen for Penn State to then have a very good win. Because if Indiana beats Oregon, we're looking at easily a top 10 matchup. And then how it shapes up is we got bye week, so we go UCLA. Now we're going West Coast, by the way. So hopefully you cannot. UCLA is absolutely horrible. They're one of the worst Power 4 teams in the country. I don't think there's any way you can lose, but you got to be careful of not going out there and getting punched in the mouth because you have a heartbreaking loss this coming week. You got to leave on a Thursday. You know what I mean? You just got to make sure it doesn't pile over. Like I said, UCLA is truly bad. This is a really
weird week for our guys.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Emotionally, to recover from something like this.
You have a night game last night. What time? What time do you guys get home to your beds after a night game?
Oh, those guys, yeah. I mean, well, you're in there. You're not even sleeping until at least 1:30 probably. You got to calm down too.
I know.
You're probably not sleeping until 2. And
then you wake up and you got to go to practice here, and you got to get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then all of a sudden Thursday you're flying to California.
Yeah, because Frank leaves Thursday.
Well, I completely agree with that. I mean, everything is different. I mean, I think you got to spend at least a day or two out there on the West Coast to assimilate.
That's an interesting comment. Yeah, so clearly there's a contrast between what some coaches do believe that and some don't. So Coach Franklin, they go out a day early. They're going to go out Thursday to UCLA. At least that's something they've always done in the past for cross-country trips. Lanning. And it was kind of the talk. I made a tweet about it. I tweeted about how horrible Altoona's pizza was, too. I mentioned, that went kind of viral. I'll tell you what. Have you had Altoona pizza?
No, I would never even attempt it.
Yeah, that's crazy that people actually eat that. No offense to my Altoona folks, but I've heard people say that's not the real pizza. We get a bad rep. I don't know. You look up Altoona pizza. That's what comes up. So the question is, Oregon went the route of they didn't even get in till They didn't land till almost 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and then they landed and drove 45 minutes to Altoona. They weren't hanging out in the hotel until almost like 9 p.m. So I think they go the route of try to.
Well, it's different for them. Well, they gain the hours coming in.
Yes,
we lose them.
That's a very good point.
No, I mean it's just how everything's. I mean, but
they just played the game like it was at 4:30 yesterday.
Like what did James do for USC last year? Go Thursday.
Went out Thursday.
Yeah. That's all right. We would do that. We played BYU one time and played USC a couple times. We definitely went out there on Thursday. Now, where do we leave from?
That's a good question. Probably Harrisburg like normal. Okay. I mean, I think we have to. I don't think we're able to take off from. That's what we always did. So that was like I feel like it was funny because last year that was the talk of the entire week was the State College Airport runway. That's all that was talked about. We didn't even talk. And then USC ended up being one of the most memorable games in a long time.
I actually did find out a little something about that, and people complain. It's not the airport size. It's the fact that the planes can't land or take off from there with full amount of gas.
Right, so you can stop and fuel up.
Yeah.
So, it was funny. Nevada flew straight into State College, but they had to stop.
Yeah.
They did something. They had to stop and refuel and then make sure they didn't have that much gas. Yeah, because
you can't. You don't.
It's the momentum, right?
Momentum, but I don't think it's the landing part. I think it's the taking off part. You can't. They can't get from here to Nevada. Or they probably just stopped over in Denver or whatever and got loaded up on fuel and then came right back across.
Yeah.
But every coach is different, so we don't know. I don't know what does Ohio State do, what does Michigan do. Everybody's different. I don't know exactly. So we go out there. It's a 3:30 game. So for us, to our guys, it's 12:30 out there. It's 3:30 on their biological clock. Yes, it's a weird world. I mean, with having these 4 West Coast teams.
I know it really throws a wrench. I mean, honestly, I feel the worst. for Oregon, honestly, they had to go to Northwestern, to Penn State, to Indiana, and to Iowa.
Well, when they look at the Big Ten check they get at the
hard.
end of the year, they can say, okay, this is why we're here. This is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were bankrupt as hell. So
yeah, Pac-12 wasn't doing them too well.
Yeah. Yeah, the Pac-12, they weren't making any money. So now they're getting $200 million checks from the Big Ten. They're okay with flying across the damn country, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's got to be rough as a player, though.
Yeah, we just said 4 times they got to come across. That's a lot, man.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's not. Football. That's rough, but it's so much worse for like basketball and like volleyball, like all the sports that play like midweek. Imagine having to go West Coast to East Coast. Like, it's a Wednesday. We got a basketball game. Yeah,
but
we got to go.
Are they other? I don't know this. I know you might know this a little bit better than me with knowing. So if our volleyball team goes out west, they're probably going to do a couple games out there.
They have
it's
done
not
that.
just one.
They've lined it up where they go like
not
UCLA, USC. Yeah.
That's the right thing to do. I mean, and that would be when they come east, they would, stay and get 3 or 4 East Coast games. Yeah, it's crazy they're thinking about that. But that's the only thing about joining the Big Ten with those smaller schools. It's not the football team. We're okay. We play once a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the other guys. It's the basketball team. It's the field hockey team. I mean, I guess the field hockey team they don't have teams out west, so they don't really go out west. But like basketball, women's volleyball, baseball. I mean, it's a big thing. Yeah. Going to and from around the country and all that stuff. And what we also don't forget about is you and I, as big people, sitting in a plane for 4 hours is not comfortable. And then having to play a game the next morning, hell no. You're sore as hell from that travel. I know I used to be.
Absolutely.
You get up and try and walk around on the plane type of thing to try and, stay loose. Not stay loose like Russell Wilson type thing, but you know what I mean? You're just like, you want to, not be so stiff, sitting in the chair for 5-6 hours on a flight. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's just.
Well, nowadays, when you go cross country, they get the ones where you can sleep. You get like the sleep pods. That's what
we're talking about. How spoiled you guys are? Is that
yes.
We're going right back to that?
Yeah, you lay in the chair.
I saw your little sleep pods when you guys played in the Rose Bowl. That was pretty damn cool. We flew out in a cargo plane, for God's sakes. Jeez Louise, buddy.
Yeah, they just tossed you guys out.
Yeah, they threw us in with the goats and the sheep, and they said, they threw us some hay and said, get out to the West Coast and, go win the Rose Bowl, guys. And we did. We were happy about it.
You did.
Good. We were happy about it.
I just had a thought pop in my head. I had to write it down so I didn't forget it. It's been that type of. I think I'm going 4 hours of sleep, maybe. I don't know.
I know. I'm on a very, very severe lack of sleep this whole weekend, man.
Think about the idea of 10-2 Notre Dame, 10-2 Penn State.
We ain't getting it.
You think Notre Dame goes over us?
To go back to what we were originally saying, and that is, I think that 10-2, last year got into the playoffs. I don't know how it's shaping up right now. That's what we have to look at is the long forecast of the different games and stuff like that. Because
Alabama beating Georgia was something.
I don't know if 2 wins in our non-conference gets us in the playoffs. I mean, that would obviously we're in a must-win situation at Ohio State. I really truly believe that. But again, there could be upsets throughout the year, and we might still be in the top 10. So we may get to. I mean, they're not locking in Big Ten teams right now, right? That's not yet.
No.
So you got to earn your way in, and are out of conference. And I don't know if have the new polls come out yet.
No, they come out later
today.
Indiana is at Oregon. I don't know what I saw. What the hell did I look at?
They're at Oregon?
Yeah, they're at Oregon. So that makes it a lot harder. But like I said, for Penn State, I think it's vital that Indiana wins.
Because Indiana, when is that? Next week?
No, it's in 2 weeks. It's October 11th.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Indiana right now sits at 11. If they can, if you're Penn State and you play them and that's a top 10 matchup and you win, and you're 10-2, then I think you're in. But I think really everything rides on how significant is that Indiana victory if you're Penn State. That's what's going to be.
That'll be our signature win if we don't beat Ohio State.
Yeah. So
that's not good.
No, not good at all.
Because Iowa is another game that would be a significant win, but Indiana beat them yesterday. So we got definitely have our work cut out for us, and honest to God, Oregon is beatable. Oregon was beatable last night, and we didn't beat them, and it's just that's the frustrating part.
Look, Jim Knowles held Will Stein to 10 points through 3 quarters. You know, I don't know if you can ask for much better performance from Jim Knowles in the defense against that Oregon offense.
I know I saw some of your tweets. You were talking about the holding calls and stuff like that. The lack of holding calls.
That was a real thing. I mean, you saw. I mean, I think everybody saw it on the TV, man. I was, obviously not something I want to bring up to start, but now that we're into the show, yeah, let's talk. I mean, the refs all around were pretty bad, I thought.
That's the Big Ten, man. They just want you. They let the play on the field determine the game. They try not to get involved in too nitty gritty and calling the ticky tack fouls and stuff like that. I mean, that's just how I feel. I mean, that's just the way big games are, and I'd rather have it like that, wouldn't you? I mean,
yeah.
I definitely would like to have some holds called out there.
I think there were some pretty egregious ones. People wanted the targeting at the end. Was that on Amari? Yeah. How'd you feel about that fumble being overturned? Was his knee down?
I wasn't happy about anything much last night about watching that game. It was, again, I go back to the F word, and that's frustrating. And it's just, I mean, again, we're frustrating, you and I as lettermen and the fans out there watching. But, again, I think the players and the coaches are even more frustrated. I mean, James actually admitted it. He said it. He goes, no, it's no longer – that's a fact that we haven't done well against top 5-10 teams. He's not hiding. He's not hiding that now. He's like, that's not a thing. It's a fact. It's just not been done. And I think James took a lot of accountability for last night. I really did. I mean, more so than I've ever seen him in the past. Jesus. Well, that was a good one. Almost. Almost. Holy crap, man.
That's what you get down to.
Here we are live in New York City right now. We got the New York cab system running here. We almost witnessed an accident there. But you know who would have helped?
Who's that?
The freaking lion.
The Nittany Lion.
The lion
mascot
would have come off the roof of this place. That's where he lives up there, I think.
I know he pops out of the back. It's one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen in my life. He will be here in 30 minutes. The Nittany Lion mascot, and everybody.
They're already lining up outside.
They're going to start to line up for the Nittany Lion mascot. He is the absolute show here.
That's fun. Every week we talk about this.
Somebody said Penn State would dominate Oregon in wrestling. I don't think does Oregon have wrestling? I don't think so. Do they?
No, I don't think not any West Coast schools.
If they do, I've never heard of it. I don't think it's a West Coast thing, is it? They play water. I know they play water polo.
Did you watch Game Day and stuff like that?
No, not a ton. I watched some of it. I went up to visit the set on Friday. It was cool. I saw. So I was walking around the tailgate lots. I saw the kid that made the field goal for $300,000.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Pat McAfee or Herb Street said that Pat McAfee sometimes will just like volunteer him? He'll be like he's like Herbie's gonna throw in another $100,000 too. Imagine someone like I'm just like Goon's gonna throw in $100,000 too if you make this kick.
I'm sitting there like this.
It's like what? Wait, what's going on?
What? I'll throw in some chili at a tailgate.
I'll have some breakfast food from Goon.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
But no, that was great. Did you see the kid that nailed the kid?
Yeah.
I mean, like he nailed it. Like it was good for another 10 yards.
Good for him. So what did McAfee do? He's been doing crazy stuff at the end of the show now.
He tore his shirt off. Obviously, people were talking about this. So the whole crew came out in all white. Can you imagine? People have been making jokes. Can you imagine game day coming to Nick Saban and saying, "Hey, coach, so you're gonna have to wear an all white suit." What do you think that conversation was like?
I guess, yeah. Like, hey, coach, you can't wear that. We're wearing all white today. You're like, oh, okay. Nick Saban's like, okay.
Like, I'd be like telling Joe. I'd be telling like Joe Paterno, you're gonna wear all white.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I can't believe he did it.
The old man used to like wear like non-Nike sweatsuits on the sideline. Swear to God, we played Northwestern one year. He had a black and purple sweat jacket on. We're like, dude, we're Penn State, Joe.
We're playing Northwestern.
Like, what the heck, man?
That's amazing.
Well, it's like the old school. I mean, there's the old story about I talked about Bo Schembechler before, when TV was trying to tell him, oh, we're going to put your game on, we're going to have you on it. The game's on national coverage at 3:00. He goes, well, that's fine if you want to put us on national TV, but we're starting our game at 1. He goes, if you guys want to do it, we start our game at 1:00. You're not going to,
Right.
He used to tell him, you're not going to tell us when we're playing, and that's how much changed now. Now it's like now you're beholden to everything that TV wants and stuff like that. It's a good way.
Yeah.
Seriously, dude. How many people did you have in town are calling you about this spectacle known as the whiteout? It's freaking crazy. It's like
a lot.
I had people flying. Austin's friends from our friends from Texas flew in on a private jet. They had about 8 couples from Florida come in for that. And
so many
just
people.
A big, huge, like, wow. It was just like the feeling in the crowd. It's. How many recruits did we have there last night? Granted, you want to win the game and stuff like that, but I mean, you could sit there. I mean, how many guys have you talked to? I mean, on our show on Monday nights, live at the Penn State Golf Course from 6 to 7. Shameless plug. How many people do we sit there and say, we talk to the guys, how'd you get here? And you go, well, I visited here for the whiteout. And everybody talks about it. Every player that talks about it, like even you, when you came here in your, would have been your official or no?
No, I never got an official. We got robbed. It was COVID. Yeah, I was sad about that one.
Oh,
we were told, we were like, when you get here, like, we're gonna do something for you guys to make up because it was COVID, and so they were, all my officials got. I had all of my visits lined up. I was gonna go to Penn State. I was gonna go to Oregon too, and I was gonna go to Notre Dame, and then I was gonna go to Maryland for my OVs. And I already had my commitment date set. I was already gonna go to Penn State, but I was gonna take my visits, enjoy. 2 weeks before they all start. Boom, whatever. It was like March 16th or whatever day it was. Yeah, and it was just all, the world shut down. Yeah, that was a tough time.
That was your junior year?
That was my junior year going into my senior year. It was like spring junior year. And
that
so,
stinks,
but I went, but 2019, I was at the Michigan Penn State Whiteout, the original Why You Hear Mo Bamba. By the way,
was that the timeout call?
That was the timeout call.
That's still the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen.
It was amazing. Dan Lanning put on his story a picture of the interception with Mo Bamba playing, saying this is my new favorite song. He was letting us have it.
Absolutely,
did you hear him say? What did he say? He said,
I saw him do this.
He was saying this, and he was saying
they're dead, they're done.
What did you hear? In the postgame presser, he said something of I thought the crowd was worth 7 points, but not. They weren't tonight or something.
They weren't tonight or something like that. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, he definitely chirped. No doubt about it.
I mean, look. You win, you can chirp. That's kind of how it goes.
That's literally how it goes.
Yeah, no, the Penn State Whiteout is a must attend for any football fan in the world.
So now I'm thinking, my official visits. You ready?
Yeah, where'd you go?
I went to the Florida State, Florida game in 1990.
Really?
I went down there as an 18-year-old kid as a Florida State recruit, and I went down there for a game. So I got down there Friday day. That was my official visit because my team got knocked out of the playoff, and it was like, all right. And my parents I'm going to go down. My parents didn't go with me. And they couldn't afford, because nowadays you pay for the parents to go on official visits and stuff like that. Back then, no. My mom and dad could not go because they couldn't afford to go to Florida State. So they couldn't fly to Tallahassee. So I went down on my own for the game, and it was just an unbelievable. Think about the whiteout. I mean, if you were an official visit, then they bring you around the restaurants and this and that, and you're hanging out with the coaches on Friday, and then Saturday night after the game, you're out with the players, and let's just say it was an unbelievable time, man.
I can only imagine.
I never ate an alligator before in my life, and I had about 18 different ways in that weekend.
They ate gator like that?
Every way. They had it fried, they had steaks, they had this, that. It was unbelievable.
What does it taste like?
A lot like chicken.
Chicken, that's what I've heard. Gators like chicken.
A lot like it.
Huh.
Yeah, and then I did where else did I went to Syracuse. Yeah. I did Syracuse for a visit, me and Marvin. And then let me think now. I was going to go to Florida.
OVs are legendary, man. I'll tell you what, those are some of the greatest. Those are some stories you remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah, well, they had to knock them down pretty good, because there was a real issue going on. It was just like the opulence, and it's just over too much. They
were giving too much.
Players. I mean, nowadays you're getting that stuff, but back then it was legal to ask for it on your visit and stuff like that. So I remember they'd fly in a private plane for Ben and somebody, and there was the whole private jet's full of lobster and stuff like that. Anyway, I didn't have any of that. I flew commercial down to Florida State, so it was funny because it was a pretty cool atmosphere. I mean, obviously, Coach bowed and stuff like that. So you never heard me tell the story?
No,
so
no about it.
I'm in Bobby's office. I mean, there was 4 guys down there on an official visit. There was about 500 recruits in the room, and they pulled us aside. And they're like, "Hey, man, you guys are on your officials. We're the one. We want you. We don't want all these guys." So they bring us into they bring me into Bobby Bowden's office, and in the background, his locker or his office was like the top of the stadium. So in the background, the stadium's starting to get fill up. You see the guys punting balls back and forth, and there's people in the crowd and this and that. And then this big old leather chair spins around. It's Bobby Bowden. Hey, we need some of you big northern boys to come down here and play football for Florida State. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, dude, I'm in. I was like, it was like a sale and a sell. And I was like, if my parents were there, because they wouldn't have let me, I couldn't sign without their, whatever, they're okay. So I would probably sign right then and there. Because I was like, I'm going to Florida State, and my mom and dad were typical 18-year-old punk kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to Florida State. My dad would be like, oh, that's great. You're going to Florida State. I'm never going to see you play one time. That's the bottom line.
That's the hard part. Even guys now, even they'll go elsewhere for a little bit more money. It's like then your family's got to do all that travel. You got to help pay. Next thing you know, it's not even worth the amount of money that you're getting to go somewhere else that's further away. For me, it was like no question. It's different for different recruits, but I feel like a lot of people. That's why you see people stay around their region because like I don't want to make my whole family travel 10 hours.
Your friends
come see me, my friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do guys on the NIL deals, do they actually work out, like, stuff for their family and stuff like that, travel and stuff like that?
Yes, I'll tell you
I've seen some, like, stories, like, guys getting, like, 4 round-trip tickets to each game.
People ask that. I've seen, like, 5-star recruits will ask for, like, private jets for their family. Penn State does do something cool, though, that they do that we're actually a part of is the housing program. So we have, I think it's like 45 different parents. Is that Bo Nickel?
That's Bo Nickel.
Bo Nickel just walked past. Look at that. I locked eyes with like 2 different
times.
The
line was ready to pounce on him.
Yeah, the line was
great. We walk out there, Bo Nickel's pounding the freaking lion.
Imagine, what if you just go up to Bo Nickel and just like, let's wrestle. Let's get into it. How quickly
First of all, what's the first thing you see when you see a wrestler? You ever get in a fight and you see those ears?
If you see those ears, you
just
need
walk
to
away, bro.
absolutely concede right away. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Good.
By the way, someone earlier said that they'd like to see you and I on a combo block right now on the offensive line.
Well, considering I can't stand up straight right now, I can't imagine getting into a stance without breaking right now. So I got some. I got some back and nerve issues going right now. But that'd be awesome.
Do you think you could get into a stance
right now with my knee and my back? No, I wouldn't even. I mean, getting dressed is hard enough with what I got going on right now, man.
You hear that, kid?
It's crazy.
Play football. You'll feel great about it. Your body will feel great.
Yeah, I don't know if this is more of a. I had a really bad car accident. When
right, you told me that.
Yeah, I stem back from that with my spine and my issues with my back, and my knees are definitely from football. But I never had the big massive. I had MCLs and stuff like that, but I never had any like. They took cartilage out of my knee.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, I got a little cartilage out of the left knee here.
Well, that's good. You'll be bone on bone soon enough, brother.
Yeah, but nothing like bone on the knee. It feels absolutely great.
I could just bend my knee. You could actually hear some grinding. You make some like hip hop noises out of that.
Oh, Goon. Outside ring, we got the Nittany Lion mascot. We got Chris Raymond here as well. We got the Student Bookstore does a great job bringing events down here. Always stop by. We got Are You Kidding Me? Cooking with Daryl is here. So he's like a West Coast guy. I've been following him on TikTok for years. He's just famous for like going on the Blackstone, just like cooking up stuff for his kids, for his wife, for his family. Like, it's awesome. As soon as Thad here at Student Bookstore told me he was coming into a book signing, I'm like, really? I'm like, seriously? I'm like, because he's from like Arizona. I need to talk to him after. But yeah, he's from like West Coast area, and he's out here for the game. And yeah, so like, you look through this cookbook. I mean, it looks good. I'm gonna take a peek at it.
Blackstone, huh?
Yeah,
I just saw the page you opened. It said New York strip steak on a flat top. I don't know.
Pork burn ends. Yeah, you're gonna get Goon and I excited. We keep talking about food.
Not too much food, man.
Yeah, what kind of food did you have?
Yesterday was a maniac. It was crazy, man. I tell you, I had to take a nap halfway through the tailgate.
That's good. That's always.
I literally was running on fumes and couple beers, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to take a little nap here. And I felt like I didn't fall asleep. My wife was like, you were out for like a half hour. I was like, oh, really? That's good.
That's good. Yeah, a little rest. I think at one point, which is good for me, you know, I'm a lightweight. You know this.
Drinking. You can eat.
I can eat. Yeah. But drinking. And I through the first half of Penn State football, I was about 9 Rolling Rocks deep.
You were 9?
Yes, and I still did a live postgame show. But I stopped. I stopped at like probably halfway through the third quarter. It was quick to get back to normal. But man, yeah, I was deep on some Rolling Rocks. I'm a big, Western PA guy.
It was from the.
Even though I'm from Baltimore, I'm like from outside of Baltimore. I'm from Annapolis, Maryland, but I'm a big Western PA guy.
How'd you enjoy it?
Goes.
Do you enjoy it?
What's the show?
Well, that's our little post-game radio show. Some Oregon Ducks
Congratulations,
fans. Did you enjoy your experience here?
Yeah, mostly.
Good. Mostly? Uh-oh.
What was most? We got a most. We asked him if this Oregon fan experienced everything.
We've been to so many places around the country, SEC games, Big Ten games. I've probably been to
All right.
Name 3 of them.
So where does the whiteout stack for you as an Oregon fan? We got a little mini interview here.
This is my 3rd one.
Oh, this is your 3rd whiteout. Okay.
Yeah. First one I came to is Notre Dame in 2007.
Notre
just
Dame
a fan of
07. That was a
football?
great one.
I was a Penn State fan from birth. Yeah, but I went.
But you're wearing an Oregon hat.
Oh, okay.
I'm an Oregon grad.
Okay.
So you're an Oregon grad. You're from around here?
No, I'm actually from Eastern Washington State.
Oh
Jeez.
man,
But
we
have
got.
a family that's from Central Pennsylvania, and that's.
Okay, so you've
All
been
right, here
all
we
right, so
go.
you've
it's
been to the
awesome.
White House before
Yeah.
and stuff like that, so you know what to expect.
Great. Well, I mean, I think because the Notre Dame
Yeah.
one was a day game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Started. It was a wonderful show. We were
Wow.
in the end zone.
That's a great picture. You ever see that
Yeah,
picture of Notre
it was-
Dame? That
was-
Notre Dame Whiteout.
That was a
That
great
was
one.
pretty
Well,
cool. When the sun was setting and stuff like
well,
that.
I heard the story about that one of Joe and them. They called up. I guess it was ESPN at the time, and they had NASCAR or something going on at like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and they asked to move the game and squeeze it in and start at like 6:30. And
Yeah,
they
5:30,
had
I
to
think
call
it was.
some SEC team and ask if they wanted to start at like 9:30 for their game. I know it's crazy. Back at the TV stuff back in the day was crazy, but. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you sharing the
Enjoy, man.
experience.
Well, welcome back.
Oh, so the chat's definitely they're taking it well.
That's good. I hate when you sit in the parking lot and you see Oregon fans walking by, and I hate when people are jerks to them and stuff like that. You know, I mean,
Oh, no, everybody's-
I was taught by my parents, invite them over. Hey, have a beer. How you enjoying your experience and stuff like that. And I hate when people are like, "Oh, it was horrible." People were this or that. I mean, there's game day shit, game daymanships, and all like fun stuff that goes on. The camaraderie going back and forth and stuff like that. But when people cross the line a little bit, there, man, I saw a couple of brawls yesterday.
Oh yeah,
It was like, come on,
favorite.
It was like, come on, guys, like really?
Yeah, on the parking lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen when you mix alcohol and rowdy fans.
Young kids, it's their first whiteout. They've been drinking all day, and some of them don't know how to handle themselves, and it just turns. I saw one kid walking; he had no shirt on, all beat up and bloody. I was like, "What did you get into, bro?"
Yeah, I was outside my studio, but a little before the game was starting. There's a kid with his shirt off, just sitting under the tree, just head between his
Yeah,
legs.
so what I do is I tailgate all day, and then the game kicks, and we head home. So
Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. No better seat, honestly, than being in the house.
it's the best.
Yeah, I mean,
We
you
had
get
about a dozen people watching from our house and stuff like that, and it was just. I do enjoy it because I do enjoy the whole game day atmosphere and stuff like that. But then getting out and going and watch it somewhere is that's actually the fun part. But you're getting out, but then you drive. I'm driving out of town last night, driving out of the parking lots. I mean, there's like carnage. There's like people laying in the fields and stuff like that. You're like, when's that person wake up and be like, "Whoa, what happened? Where am I at right now?"
Yeah, what happened to me?
I know some people probably at my tailgate go, "Man, Goon was hammered yesterday. Holy crap!" And I'm like, actually, I was on about 3 hours of sleep. It was an exhaustion type of thing yesterday.
Oh boy!
But
yeah.
then watching the game last night and stuff like that. It's just nice being home. My brother, my basketball playing brother, he was up and had his kids, and they were at the game. His son and him, they were at the game, and my niece's boyfriend, he brought him up to the game, and they were in it took them like 2 hours to get home to my house, which is 2 miles from the stadium.
Dude, I had people
that's
texting
crazy,
me.
man.
People that were staying at my house texted me, and they were like, "It's 2 a.m." They're like, "Hey, can you come get us? We can't get an Uber. We're up, around Pagula, the ice hockey spot, and no one will pick us up." And I'm like, "Look, you better start walking. It's not too far." No, I'm curious, you guys. If anybody in the chat was in the game last night, I remember when I was driving. Oh, that must have been at 1 a.m. I still saw gridlock when I could see from the distance from people leaving the stadium. I mean, think about it, 110,000 people. Where, I mean, how many cars are there total? I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so
no
crazy.
fun waiting for those parking lots to end out to empty out, and that late at night. And again, the frustrating of losing. A big game like that seems to happen a lot and just drives you a little bit crazy. So they had like 2 hours to sit there thinking their thoughts, as fans.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Listen to some talk radio. Listen to 2 washed-up offensive linemen, talk about football.
We did that back in the day.
Yeah.
We did the postgame. I don't get involved with that no more.
I did the live. Did you guys take live callers? You took live callers?
I told. Yeah, that was a pretty brutal time. I told you that. We were down here.
Yeah, that was after the
it
loss
was right
to,
after. No, it was right after. Yeah. It was
2012?
2012.
And
Joe had gotten
guys lost
fired
to
in
Ohio,
2011, and we opening game of the year, we lost to Ohio.
Ohio University, not Ohio
University
State.
came in here, and I just remember sitting there in the crowd watching. Like, it was like when everybody was like, circle the wagons, is rally around this team and stuff like that. So I remember our guys getting off the buses and they're running around, and like I'm like, these guys are like they're ready to go. But then you can't keep that kind of momentum going. By the fourth quarter, we were done. We were worn out. We were at such a high getting off of the buses and stuff like that. And then when it happened, so like I told you, we were down here doing post-game talk show, and people were just calling in and they're venting their frustration with Penn State and how they handled the Joe situation, and it got a little crazy on the airways. And it was like, why are we not screening these calls? Because people were just like, yelling at me and my old partner, like we were responsible for getting Joe fired, and like it was just people were just venting.
Oh, Lord.
This never would have happened. Joe would have never let this happen. This and that. And it's like the guy I worked with was like, hey, listen, man, Joe's gone. He's not coming back. Joe's gone. I mean, he was obviously deceased by then too. So it was just like, it's just like, there was people just calling in and venting and yelling.
Yeah.
And we were the sounding board, and we didn't appreciate it too much.
There you go. Yeah, I did. We did live calling last night. As anybody on the chat, I'm sure you were in there as well. It was good. We had over 12,000 people live on Twitter. That was
what?
Yeah, 12,000 people were in there on live on Twitter, and then we had about 400 on YouTube. So it was a fun one. People, I appreciate you. Everybody was very respectful. Anybody that wanted to curse just used the letter, so that was big time. Everybody was very adult about it. We had a couple people that called in and just said, I'm going to bed and I'm never watching football again.
That's the thing, man. It's just frustrating. Again, it's just like somebody's like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. So, I mean, you think that James and his team doesn't want to win that game. I mean, again, they're just as frustrated and upset as the rest of us. So, now, I want to ask you a question, and you're part of the want-to-know mentality, right?
Yep.
Do you think that the want-to-know mentality is good right now or bad?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I generally did feel like I liked it, and you really do adopt it as a player, and you really do. You don't overlook, someone like a UCLA this week. But as I've said, it's hard now. You're Penn State. These guys are. You go in at 1. You got Sundays start at 1 p.m. for the Penn State football players. I mean, like I said, you went to bed at probably 2 because you think you're so amped up. You can't go to bed till at least 2 a.m. and your body's got to wind down a little bit. So guys are just now waking up. Your bodies are absolutely – it's brutal. You played 2 overtimes. And now you're on a short – not a short week as far as the game, but you got to travel out on Thursday to the West Coast. That's hard. Like I said, UCLA I think is one of the worst Power 4 teams in the country, and they fired their head coach, fired their defensive coordinator. So, we're not going to lose that game, but you do run the risk of going out there getting punched in the mouth, and next thing you know, it's why is it 7-3? Why is it 7-3 at halftime?
No doubt about it. We're going to go out there and probably be sleepwalking a little bit because of what it is a very short week and a very long trip. I mean, everything's pointing towards being this could be a scary game. If UCLA was actually pretty good at anything, they could definitely jump Penn State. So I'm both ways on this want-to-know mentality. Big time, I could see where it's like, okay, yesterday is over. Today is now, right? We need to worry about UCLA. We need to worry about today. You don't celebrate your wins. You don't dwell on your losses type of thing. I love that aspect of it. But I also... You can learn a lot from, if it's the want-to-know mentality, what scares me is like, okay, we don't talk about that loss. You got to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you don't want to talk about it when you win. It's like, okay, you don't want to be too high, but you don't want to be too low in a loss. So it's like, okay, last night's over. They don't want to talk about it, but it's like, I think we should have. Don't you think as a player you want to talk about it? I mean, you're going to go through that with the films all day today.
Yeah, that's a rough watch.
Give me the what's the players doing right now? Well, not 1 o'clock.
Yeah, so you come in. That was always the team meeting starts at 1:20. So you get I would always get 15 minutes of the 1 p.m. games, and then that's it for you. Then you're off, and you don't you're not done until 6:30. But so you go in, you have the team meeting, and then you break into offense goes to film, defense goes to lift, and you do that for an hour and a half, and then you swap. Yeah, the film is going to be a rough one for the players this morning. Obviously, I thought the defense played very well. You hold Will Stein, Oregon's offensive coordinator, 10 points through 3 quarters. that's a really good performance there from Knowles and the defense against a really, really good offense. But yeah, it's gonna be tough to go through that film, watch it. You gotta live it. You gotta live it.
I mean, I am a big proponent of you can learn more from a loss than you do from a win.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. But yeah, I mean, look, you're fighting a uphill battle now if you are this Penn State football team. And as we said earlier, you almost feel like it is a must-win at Ohio State. The Steelers,
your boys
are up 14-3
right before half.
Wow, we don't really do anything good. I'll tell you,
No, there's no way in NFLs.
Oh,
do I have to beat you for this? No.
Dude, this was I shed a lot of tears over these Steelers teams as a young kid. I don't care as much anymore. I shouldn't even say it because I don't follow as closely since I'm just so immersed in college football. But dang, being a Steelers fan and Penn State fan, any combos out there, you kind of past couple years there's been a lot of crossover there of just being good. Being really good, but then just like not getting over the hump. It's a rough time to be a Steelers Penn State fan. I'll tell you what.
Imagine being an Eagles fan and never winning a title.
Well, you guys are living a good life now.
Right now, but I'm 52. Now, when I was 22, you stunk.
Yeah.
I always say that people are always like, "Oh, you hate on the Cowboys." I'm like, "Yeah, because they ruined my freaking childhood." You know, I mean, they've been watching the Eagles get swamped by the Cowboys all the time. So
yeah, Glenn makes a good point. Yeah, we do need to get after the quarterback more. 0 sacks, obviously. We do mention there's a couple holdings, but yeah, you give Dante Moore too much time. That is obviously going to result in a something not good, especially when you're dealing with speed out there. So no, you got to once again. I don't think I've said it enough, but you got to tip the cap to Oregon. They did play a better game than Penn State. They coached a better game. Their players, came with it a little bit more, and I think they deserve to win. It would have felt, I think if we would have pulled that out in the double overtime, it would have felt like we snuck away with one for sure.
Oh, no doubt about it.
I mean, they took us.
I'm going to sit there. I'm going to rest on my laurels and say I'm pretty excited to have, the getting into overtime was special.
Yeah,
getting those couple touchdowns to get fight. Back in that game when it was like, everything went to hell in a handbasket pretty quick, and it was like, okay, now, again, we have a good senior-led team, and they're really, really, those guys need to hold this team together because it can go off the tracks real freaking quick, man. Especially as a group of seniors that came back, we had all these returning starters, and we were set up, and we were making that national title run, and then you lose the game, the biggest game of the year so far, and everybody's saying, "Well, we knew it, we told you this and that," but it's not over. I guarantee you that's what James's speech is going to be. I've talked to the guys, and it's not over. Nothing is over. It's not like the '90s and the '80s when you lost a game and you were out of the national title. So I go back to our 1992 team, and when we lost to Miami in '92 at home, and then we were loaded. We had more talent on our team in '92 than we did in going I'm being honest. And then. It went off the rails because we were no longer in national title. We weren't going to play for a national title.
Right.
So it was just like a lot of the guys just said, "Okay, I'm out." But now we have this well-led, Doc is going to take care of that locker room.
Yeah.
He's not going to let guys, rest on their laurels and quit on this team because there's so much more to play for right now. So much more to play for. But that's what we have to get through. That's where I go back to the 1-0 mindset. It's like, okay, you can put that in the past. I mean, let's not talk about it. Let's move on from it and stuff like that. But we could also learn from what happened, learn from your mistakes, and then move forward. I mean, the short week might be a better thing. Did we stop thinking about it? I mean, their mind's got to be on UCLA right now.
Yeah, no, you're right.
About that. And it's like,
flip that switch.
So what do you got? 1 o'clock, you got meetings and stuff like that for an hour. Watch the film, and then it's done. And Oregon is over, right?
Yep. Yeah, you put that behind you, and you start. Tonight you get home.
So when you're watching film,
right?
How does the whiteout look on a game film?
Pretty cool.
It's awesome.
I'm
sure
cool.
It is. I mean, I never saw it.
I do get why, Frank, because you obviously we could wear white if we wanted to, but it's a very good point that obviously the contrast of the blue and the white, it's easier for the players to see more.
Oh, you could definitely. I mean, somebody talked to me about it yesterday. Why do we let them wear white when we wear white out when they can almost hide a little bit? If you think about it,
It makes sense.
it's, do we ever think about going all white? And I would say, hell no, never.
No, you don't want to.
When I played back in the day, we had to wear alternating gloves. Did you know that?
No.
You guys are wear gray gloves now, right?
You can wear pretty much whatever gloves you want. Actually, the key is for offensive linemen now, you always wear the glove color of what your opponent is wearing.
So you know what was going on in the 80s.
No. We guys putting brass knuckles in there?
No.
Sorry.
So, they were, some of the lines, I'm not going to say who, Michigan State, Illinois, what? So they were literally going out there and, the Big Ten started noticing, why does Michigan State have fluorescent orange offensive lineman gloves? It's because they were playing Illinois and they had orange jerseys, so you're in there holding and you can't see it.
Yeah, okay. So you guys are on top of it.
They had to make a mandatory rule that, when we were at home, you had to wear black gloves, and then when you're on the road, you had to wear white gloves. So, I don't know. You're not a Star Wars guy at all.
A little bit.
But we literally looked like stormtroopers. We were, everything on our body, head to toe, was white. White gloves, white helmet, white jersey, white pants, and then the black shoes and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. But then they stopped that, and they said, okay, I guess some smaller programs were complaining because they had to buy twice as amount of gloves for their linemen.
Right.
So, you go through a pair of gloves every couple of weeks and stuff like that. So, then by my senior year, they actually said everybody had to wear gray gloves.
Interesting.
So it's the neutral color for all of that.
We get it. We get our free choice here. We had some people in the chat. Someone said they're a Colts Penn State fan. Someone said they're a Bears Penn State fan. Both of those are Bears fan, much worse than Colts fan. These guys won a Super Bowl. Yeah, imagine being a Bears.
Well, my wife is a Browns fan.
That's worse.
And I feel her pain. I couldn't
watch the Browns play football every weekend
Buffalo,
like that.
It's
It's getting better for the Bills. They still can't. They can't get over the hump.
They can't.
Bills are kind of like this generation's Colts, to a degree. You know what I mean? It's kind of what it feels like.
Manning's Colts.
Yeah,
he got a title though.
He got one. He did.
Interesting to see what Josh Allen can do.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Former MVP. We got some NFL football today.
Look at this little kid right here. He is ready for that lion. He's pounding the table right now.
He's literally pounding the table for the lion.
Table saying, I want the freaking lion.
He cannot wait. Yeah, we are downtown here at the student bookstore downtown State College.
He wants a piece of Tangwell.
Yeah.
He wants a piece of you, bro.
Yeah, he does.
He might get you with a backhand and give you a concussion.
Yeah.
64th concussion.
Please, not another one, guys. Oh boy. No, make sure you guys come on down to the student bookstore downtown State College. And the Nittany Lion mascot is showing up here. Oh, we got a Detroit Lions Penn State fan here.
Oh.
Now that's worse. Especially, who knows what's going to happen with the Lions?
Detroit's pretty damn good. The Lions right now are really good.
Yeah.
This is the heyday right now, I think. God forbid. I don't know who said that, but I'm sure he's not a Matt Millen guy.
Andrew Sprague.
Andrew, I don't know if you're a Matt Millen fan or not, because a lot of people in Detroit despise that man. So I went to a wrestling, NCAA wrestling finals. I go every year, but Matt Millen was in our crew, and he goes, we were in Detroit, and somebody was like, oh, we're Lions fans, and Matt Millen was like, don't tell him I'm here. Don't tell him I'm here, because that's how much he's not liked in the Detroit area.
No, definitely not. That makes sense.
That's the general manager.
No, yeah, right. Oh man.
So what do you got going on this week? What do you do? What's the Tangwell do?
Oh man, I'm gonna go.
You're gonna break down 90 hours of film is what you do.
Yeah,
you're like a film nerd.
I do. I enjoy it. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go sleep later today. I'm gonna probably fall asleep to some Red Zone after I go do my next post-game show. Actually, I have 2 more post-game shows, obligatory show and this. Then I'm gonna go home, work on a film breakdown while I also simultaneously fall asleep.
So there was that show a couple weeks ago. You were on here, and you said you were going to come to my house. Remember?
I did. I'm sorry about that.
And you called me at 4 in the morning. You said, "Dude, I just left the building," and I was like, "What were you doing for 12 hours?" And you're like, "You just get caught up in the film, man."
I actually slept. I slept in the studio that night watching film.
Dude, that's crazy. Crazy.
I enjoy it. I'm working if anybody listening, any Oregon fans, I am working to cover more of the Big Ten. So we're going to continue that expansion and continue to branch out there.
Did Clemson win? Are you worried about Clemson? Are their fans still stalking you?
Clemson was on a bye. They still lost.
They're still stalking you?
Yeah. No, I think Clemson's been forgotten about, man. I think they're an afterthought. But, hey, who knows? hopefully, let's get this thing back on track, Goon.
No doubt, Bubba, no doubt.
You know,
you got a
another
long big week, and hopefully the guys can recover quick and get after it against the UCLA.
Absolutely, amen. You guys, I will have my post-game show up here in probably 2.5 hours for you guys, and then we will get after it this week. It's going to be a fun one. Once again, stop by the student bookstore downtown State College. Get all your Penn State merch you need. Sunday mornings after home games, there's a plethora of events, including the Nittany Lion mascot.
It's starting to move a little bit better.
Yeah, it's starting to move.
It was a little slow at 10 o'clock. I think people are now waking up and they're mulling around downtown now.
It was a late night for everybody involved. But, no, we appreciate all you guys tuning in. Until next time, we'll be back in 2 weeks.